Welcome to Win Souls TV again. This is Bright Evangelist, and today we are going to be talking about something very spectacular. I got a little treat for you guys. I hope you're ready for the treats. Now, this is testimony time. So, of course, I'm sharing a testimony. Now, with these specific testimonies, the power of God usually releases itself in specific people's eyes. Sometimes, a lot of the times when I share these specific stories, their eyes are opened up. So if this is something that you have been seeking, this could be your lucky day. First thing that I want to pull up right here. Bam. Black Al, go and get these two books, and I am going to tell you why. So, let me start off by sharing some things with you. So, my journey with the Lord really started when I was 21 years old. So, I never used to believe in God, and honestly, I've already shared this testimony before, so if you want to see that, I will put that in the cards somewhere up there. And never used to believe in the Lord, but he just kept coming after me, and I was trying to get away from God. But he started getting more aggressive in spiritual dreams. I mean, I was having dreams with demons in them. One of which was I was driving in this cul-de-sac, and out of nowhere I bumped into something, and then it caused me to look up. And when I looked up, it was this choir, a huge choir, all around my car, and I had my driver's side window down, and this choir was singing all of these heavenly tunes, like tunes that do not even exist on this earth. I haven't heard anything like that before in my entire life. So I'm looking up, and out of nowhere, this glowing hand reaches into my driver's side window, and I'm looking at it, and it had these white garments on it, and he was reaching for me, and I looked at the hand, and then that was the end of the dream. Well, basically, he was calling me to the ministry, and I was trying to run from God. I was trying to run from him, and the reason why I feel like that was the end of the dream was because it was just like, hey, I'm offering you my hand, and you know that I've been talking to you. Are you going to take my hand? And eventually I did, and I shared that testimony already. I'll also put that one up in the cards as well. But this testimony right here is basically a continuation of when I was set free from a porn and masturbation addiction. Now, that is a very tough topic, so I'm very very open with it, because I know that a lot of people struggle with it, and how I was set free was absolutely amazing. So I put that in the cards as well. So basically what happened was, the day that I was set free, 2 days before that, I was looking for another spiritual book, because I had actually been experiencing a lot of demonic activity in my house. And there would be knocks on my bedroom door right here. It was always 4 knocks. I would hear shuffling in this office area right here, which is right outside my bedroom. And so I got this book, and right after I started doing these things that's in this book, all of that stuff disappeared. Okay? And so then, man, I was like, man, this stuff is really real that they talk about in the Bible, and this was in 2017. I was already reading my Bible. I was already ministering to people, but I hadn't understood or experienced anything, the deeper things of God. So after that book, I was looking for another spiritual book. And a book that was recommended on Amazon was How to See in the Spirit by Michael Van Vlymen. Okay, so basically what happened to me was I was like, no way. I was like, I've always wanted to see in the spirit ever since I was a kid. Like, I've always wanted to see spiritual things. And so basically my curiosity got the best of me, and then I clicked on it, and then all I did was literally did one of the prayers of activation in this book. I just said it out loud while I was at work. Okay? Said it out loud, And basically 2 days later, I was delivered from porn and masturbation. And that same night, what happened was I went to the gym and I forgave somebody who had wronged me. And after that, what happened was the prayer was for angelic armies to minister in your household. And so now I say it every day. But I didn't know anything about, praying for angels to come or anything like that. I grew up in a Baptist church. They don't talk about that kind of stuff. So I'm lying on my bed, and at the time I lived by myself. Now I have a little puppy, But at the time I was living by myself, and I'm looking at my phone, and the door is in my peripheral. So I'm looking at my phone, and I'm, it's about to go to sleep. I'm about to go to sleep. It's like 10:30, and I'm flipping through my phone and stuff, and then out of nowhere I see this leg, and it had gold and silver armor on it, and it like stepped through this invisible like plane, and and I'm still looking at my phone at the time, and my eyes got big, and I turned and it disappeared. As soon as I turned and looked at the door, it disappeared. And I was like, oh, I saw you. I was like, what's your name? Because I had read from, just a little sample of his book that he was asking them what their names were. So I was just like, well, if they talking to him, they'll talk to me too. And didn't hear anything. So I said, okay, well, you don't have to talk tonight, but we're gonna be well acquainted, And so then I turn off the light, and I get into bed, and there's a ball of light on my wall. And then as soon as I looked at it, disappeared. Then about 20 minutes into my sleep, out of nowhere, I hear this strong voice, so strong that I jumped off of the bed. And I couldn't see anything at the time, but I told him, I was just like, look, if you telling me your name, hey, I'm sleepy, man. I'm sleepy. We'll talk in the morning. I dap you up in the morning. We high five it up. However you want to do it. But I'll talk to you in the morning, okay? And I just went to sleep. So he let me get some sleep. So then the next day, I go to work. And I work in a corporate atmosphere, so everybody's on their computers and in their cubicles and all this stuff. So I shared a cubicle with 4 different guys. I'm the earliest one to get there. I get there the earliest, basically. And while I'm there, I'm hearing all kinds of stuff. I'm hearing screams. It sounded like this woman was being tortured. I was seeing stuff just walking down the hallways like shadow figures, but they looked like they were like dressed up. It was really weird. Just shadow looking figures just walking down the hallway like they work there too. And then I'm seeing like flashes of light just appear and then close up. I'm seeing out of my peripheral, I'll be looking at my computer, and out of my peripheral I could see the cubicle of another guy, but on top of his cubicle it was like this black cat looking thing with red eyes, and it had claws, and it looked like it was reaching down for him. I had no gauge for any of this stuff, and so like the first entire week, I'm not gonna lie, I got scared. Like I didn't know. Don't let this testimony scare you out of it, okay? This is for all Christians, and trust me, if you move in healing, deliverance, all of this stuff is your birthright. Which leads me to the next book that I want to recommend. Get this book, and hot dog it, get this book too, okay? Because I'm telling you, all 3 of these are the real deal. They are no joke, okay? Gazing into Glory will explain through the word how this is your birthright, okay? Now, to finish this testimony, after that, I see this black cloud, and it's getting bigger and smaller. And it's on the exit door, and I'm looking at this, not in my peripheral, but literally like dead on. It's like 20 feet away, and it's like a cloud. It had no shape or form, and it was just getting bigger and smaller. Well, that night, and this was the demonic trying to scare me out of being able to see. That night, what happened was, it paid my mom a visit, and my mom said she had all of her lights off, and she could still see it in the dark. It was that black. And so that was the first time that I did a serious fast, and I fasted for 3 days. And then the next that Sunday, she said as her garage door was closing down, she said she saw like this flash of light, but she said she could actually make out a person walking in light. So we took that as her seeing an angel. She saw it in her rearview mirror as the garage was going down behind her. Because I was praying for her, for them to protect her household and everything. And she said that she would be watching TV, and in the window over here, she would see like people like peeping in just to check on her and everything. And those were angels, because when she would when she would look, they would disappear. But she was constantly seeing them looking through the window, making sure that she was okay. And they were praying over her house and all of this stuff. So this stuff is very, very real. And don't let any pastor, anybody tell you anything different, because that word, it's in the word, first of all. And nowhere in the word does he tell you that that is not for you. Okay? It is for all of us. It is our birthright, and we are to be moving in these spiritual things. Moving in these spiritual things. Not just for the fun of being able to see you or just traveling to heaven whenever you want to, but he has a specific purpose for all of us to be in these spiritual things. We live in both realms at the same time. We're just being trained by the world to not be able to see, and to only be able to see with our natural eyes, not our spiritual eyes. So sometimes it takes a little bit for us to open up our spiritual eyes. And sometimes that comes in the form of a testimony, and then other times it comes in the form of these actual practices and techniques that he teaches you in this book. And over time, your spiritual eyes will open, and amazing things will begin to happen. So I'll share another testimony. So that whole first week, a lot of stuff was going on. And so what happened was, I remember I had a girlfriend at the time. I was at her house, and I had fallen asleep on the sofa. Well, my spiritual eyes opened up while my body was lying down. And I see this angel, all white garments, bald head like Mr. Clean, and then he had his legs crossed, and he was on the ottoman like 2 feet away from me, and he was just looking at me while I was sleeping. And my spiritual eyes were open. I could hear my body snoring, but my spiritual eyes were open. And I'm looking at him, and he's looking at me, and he wasn't moving. And then he turned his head like this, like, can you see me? And then right when I noticed that he was looking at me while I was looking at him, and he turned his head, I got scared, and then I sat up in my real body. And when I sat up in my real body, I couldn't see him, but I knew that he was still there. And I've seen that angel. I still don't know what his name is. I've seen that angel on my staircase over here while I pray before I've gone to church. I still don't know what his name is, but the other one that I saw with the armor on, his name is Nathaniel. And I found out his name. I just kept asking the Lord, and one morning I woke up, and out of my own mouth the Lord spoke, and he said his name is Nathaniel. And I wasn't moving my mouth. That was the weirdest thing. It was amazing though. And then there would be times I would come back from the gym, and I would smell this amazing scent. There is like nothing like that smell. I don't know what it is. It's like sweet, and then it also has like this like cologne kind of scent. I can't describe it, but it was like the sweetest thing I've ever smelled. And at the time I wasn't using any freshener in my home. And it didn't dawn upon me until like 2 weeks later that I was just like, man, well, maybe my spiritual nose is, maybe my spiritual sense of smell is opening up as well. So I was just like, okay, well, shoot, I'm hearing stuff, seeing stuff. You know, all I gotta do now is just touch stuff, you know. And so, you know, all kinds of stuff. I was going on specific adventures. I feel like I've been to heaven twice, even though that hasn't been confirmed. But I mean, the place that I went to was so bright, and I was seeing people that had passed on, and one of which was my past mentor. And I'll do a video on him because the Lord really used him to propel me forward. And but with that said, I'll say basically the title of that video will be, don't wait until somebody passes away in order to move toward God. But anyway, I hope this testimony is a blessing to you. And hey, jump out and go grab these books, man. Go grab these books. Go grab these books. Go grab these books. Now, people ain't paying me for these testimonies. They're not paying me to promote their books. I'm telling you about them simply because the Lord used these books to move me into a deeper understanding of Him. So, I'm telling you. Now, just keep in mind that the Bible is the source and these are supplements. These are supplements. So be grounded in the Word, but be ready to propel forward through these testimonies and through the practical application that's in those books. Y'all be blessed. Move forward. Like, comment, subscribe. Ta-ta.